Well, would you look at that? Do you remember this video that we made 5 years ago? Mike Babcock admits that he screwed Mitch Marner. And then the thumbnail says, I screwed Marner. Yeah, those were the days. Today we're talking about current free agent on the NHL market, Patrik Laine, and diving into the latest with him and whether or not he could be heading over to Mike Babcock's current team, the Edmonton Oilers. Now, in order to introduce this subject and just kind of get y'all up to speed with where my head is at, let's talk firstly about the profile of Laine, and then we'll dive into some Reddit posts and news articles. Shall we? Patrik Laine, at the time of recording this audio, is still an unrestricted free agent, a guy that was coming off of an $8.7 million AAV multi-year contract. Ay, those were the days, eh? He was playing with Columbus, he was in Montreal, he was making $8.7 million a year. Laine is 28 years old, 6'5", 216, a right-handed winger, a former second overall pick, and a former 70-point-40 goal scorer in the National Hockey League. He did this at 20 years old, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it, especially when you consider the era. I mean, Patrik Laine's 44 goals back in 2017-2018, that was good enough to net him, what was it, like second? It was second in the NHL in goals behind Alex Ovechkin. Look at number 3. It was William Karlsson. What a crazy year that was. This actually happened to have been my senior year of high school, so I do remember it quite fondly. Alex Ovechkin still going out there and doing his thing, Claude Giroux getting 100 points, Nikita Kucherov scoring 100 points. Now, we're in an NHL where everybody seems to be getting a ton of points. Everybody except for Patrik Laine, who's gone out there in 2025-2026 with 1 point in only 5 games. He did get 33 points and 20 goals in 52 games with the Canadiens the previous season, but we all kind of understand that Patrik Laine was never really the guy who provided that consistent offense that you needed out of a guy in your top 6. Yes, there were multiple game spans where Laine was scoring power play goals like crazy, but it was so hit or miss with this guy holistically that there's a reason why the Canadiens, in all of their third-round Stanley Cup appearance glory, did not even play Laine more than 6 games this year. His last game was in October, and then he stopped playing. Yes, you can say injuries, yes, you can say health issues, but at the end of the day, Laine was not an option for the Montreal Canadiens, and now as a free agent, never mind the fact that he was making $8.7 million a year in his last contract, he ain't getting anywhere close to that now. Take a look at this post made on the R Hockey News subreddit, from $34.8 million to 0. This graphic makes it look like Patrik Laine is being snapped away by Thanos. $34.8 million to no offers. Laine was once one of the most feared young scorers in hockey. Now in early August, he still doesn't have a deal. The 28-year-old reached the end of a 4-year, $34.8 million contract, but his free agent market has reportedly been quiet. Some interested teams appear unwilling to guarantee him a major role or a long-term commitment, with even a professional tryout reportedly discussed as a possibility. That's a stunning fall for a player who had scored 44 goals at the age of 19 and who appeared destined to become one of the NHL's elite snipers. The issue is not whether Laine can shoot the puck. It's whether a team can trust his health, consistency, and ability to stay in the lineup long enough to build around that talent. Edmonton has recently surfaced as a possible landing spot, and the fit is obvious. Laine would receive opportunities beside elite playmakers and could rebuild his value on a contender. But the longer he remains unsigned, the less leverage he has, and the more likely he may need to accept a prove-it contract. A former second overall pick and 44-goal scorer is now fighting to simply secure his next NHL opportunity. The top reply here says if Laine wants to stay in the NHL, he has to swallow that pride and sign anywhere for 1 year at $1 million. He needs to score at least 15 goals and then look around the league for a better contract next year. two-way league minimum, agrees to help with ice maintenance. He already helps with that by coasting and not actually digging his ice to the skate. Or a team with a crappy power play can't hide this guy on the fourth line and then bring him out for the power play shot. Or his attitude is terrible and nobody wants to deal with him. I don't really know if it's that, per se. As far as I can tell from behind the scenes, another comment says, videos of him cheering his teammates in the dressing room after wins, he seemed to have a good attitude all year long. The Habs love him as a person, they just don't have a spot for him anymore. Speaking on teams that may or may not have spots, it's already been reported by Dave Jenkins that Patrik Laine could be an ideal fit for the Edmonton Oilers. His elite shot would give the Oilers another dangerous scoring option alongside McDavid and Draisaitl. Jenkins said this, that the attraction for Edmonton is easy to understand. Laine does not need to carry the puck through the neutral zone in every shift to create offense. That shot would give Edmonton another legitimate finishing option beyond its established stars. Could you imagine having to look out for 3 one-timers on the same power play? Laine on the left side, Draisaitl on the right side, and the Boosh Bomb from up top. There would be so many toys that Connor McDavid could play with on the power play, and it just doesn't really feel like a good time for any opposing team. That said, there was a comment on the NHL trade rumors subreddit as well. Could the Oilers take a chance on Laine? This post was made the other day. Mike Babcock would have a field day. He'd get eaten alive whether he wears the Bab socks or not. Make this guy earn it. Load the deal with incentive payments. $200,000 for every 10 games he skates in, $500,000 for 10 goals, another $500,000 at 20 goals, stuff like that. Give him real reason to keep his head in the game. Like daily missions in Fortnite. Okay, that's, we're really throwing it back now, aren't we? The Fortnite memes keep on coming. Babcock would bench him at the worst possible times just to remind him it's not all about the money, or some BS reason like that. Now, despite the fact that Mike Babcock has a reputation, and despite the fact that we did make some videos about Patrik Laine and Babcock over the past few years, there was a period where we thought Patrik Laine would have intertwined with Mike Babcock. I mean, Laine did have 3 pretty decent, successful seasons with the Columbus Blue Jackets. From a point production standpoint, you can do a lot worse than this. 56 points in 56 games? 52 points in 55 games? Obviously, you want those games played numbers to be jacked up a little bit more, but Laine was doing some pretty alright work. It's just, Mike Babcock was not actually the head coach of Columbus because of all the shenanigans that went on over there, and we all kind of remember what happened. At least what was reported, right? So who knows if Patrik Laine and Mike Babcock can get a second chance to get acquainted in the Edmonton Oilers organization as well. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Laine to Edmonton, does this make sense? Or is he just a product of the blip? Is he destined to be forgotten as one of the 500 million trillion life forms in the universe that just disappeared without a trace? Yeah, we did the doomsday thing yesterday. You can tell that I'm running out of ideas here in this YouTube channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Where do you think Patrik Laine should go? Do you think a fit is made with the Edmonton Oilers? Does it make sense in your mind? Why or why not? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.